What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with the review for The Oval on BET. This is season 4, episode 14. Know your place, you guys. So before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then you guys will do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on those post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss The Oval on BET, shall we? All right, you guys. So I know you guys have not saw Love and Hip Hop, the family reunion. I have not watched it. I intended to watch it today at work, but work got a little bit busy, so I didn't get a chance to get to it, but I'm gonna watch it tonight, and hopefully it'll be up first thing tomorrow. So my goal tonight is to at least watch the family reunion, sisters, and Abbott Elementary. So my goal is to have those 3 videos done for tomorrow morning. That is my goal. Not saying that that's gonna happen, but that's my goal. So that way tomorrow for lunch, I can just do Married at First Sight and be done with that. But yeah, you guys, this episode of The Oval, it wasn't the best. And you guys, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, so my energy is still slightly low. If you guys have not looked at my community tab, I put up some posts, 2 posts over the weekend, that my Rated Love video and my Love and Marriage Huntsville video, those both got demonetized over the weekend, but now they have full monetization, and I'm still befuddled. Like, why did you have it? Oh, it's so frustrating. Like, it was yellow. I had to go through a review, and you reviewed it, and it was suitable for all advertisers. Make that make sense to me. You know what? We're not going to get into it. We're not going to get into it. We're not going to get into it. Let's move on and get into this episode. This episode, I'm still confused about this whole I know I feel like I'm right, but I could be wrong. So we pick up the episode where we ended last week with Lily and this police officer wanting Lily to tell her how this, gunshot wound happened to her, right? And she's, Lily is still saying that it's from a knife. I'm like, Lily, a knife doesn't pierce through it goes through your skin, but it doesn't come back out the other way. That's not a knife wound. So she's telling the cop that she wants to leave, and he's telling her she can't leave. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if you believe that this, because you believe she's in a domestic violence situation, right? So why would you hold her against her will? Number one, you're holding her against her will. Lily hasn't committed a crime. Lily has not committed a crime, so you're holding her as if she's a criminal. And then at one point he's like, they want to see if it's self-inflicted. If somebody is going to try to take their own lives, why would they shoot themselves in the shoulder? Why would they shoot themselves right here? Self-inflicted. 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 Well, no, that's really not self-inflicted, but self-inflicted. Not self-inflicted, but okay. So Lily was gonna get up and leave. The cop tackled her to the ground. I'm like, you would think that this woman is a criminal. I mean, the way he was manhandling her, I was like, wow, this is terrible. Then the doctor came in and sedated her. I was like, what? That would be I feel like that's medical for the policeman, that's police brutality. For the doctor, that is medical malpractice, I would feel. Why would you sedate someone who doesn't need sedating? She was trying to leave. Granted, she hasn't really checked herself out, but the woman, like y'all, treating this woman as if she's done something wrong. And she hasn't. But let's move on to the next scene. So Sharon tells Dale that she looked up and found out who Tyrone, whatever the guy's last name is. So she showed Dale a picture of him on the phone. He told her that that's the one that they call the highest, right? Huh. Oh, we finna get a crossover, aren't we? We are about to get a crossover with a show that I definitely don't watch and I definitely don't want to watch. So you guys are gonna have to clue me in with stuff with Ruthless in the comments section because I just don't want to watch that show, you guys. I tried it, it just wasn't for me. It just didn't. It didn't resonate with me. I actually watched through the first 3 episodes. I just didn't like it. So you guys are gonna have to fill in the pieces for me with Ruthless. And shout out to the person last week who told me who old boy was. Thank you for that. So they're gonna, they're getting ready to lock up for the day, and Sharon is telling Dale to come over to Mr. Richards and Miss Nancy's, right? And he was like, "Have you talked to them?" She says, "No, but I'm sure that they'll be fine with it, right?" He's like, I'll just sleep in my truck." She says, "No, you're gonna come with me." So he says, "Well, I've gotten 2 paychecks, so I can go get an apartment." She says, "You're not gonna do that tonight." So then Sharon's phone rang, and she said, "This is Barry." So she answered the phone, and whoever called her hung up the phone. So she called back, and then whoever had his phone didn't answer it, right? So then Richard called her, and she told Richard that, Barry had called her, but when she called back, he didn't answer. So I want to pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys, so let's move back over to Lily. So now Lily is in the hospital bed, sedated, right? And she's restrained to the bed. I was like, what kind of a moron is this doctor and this cop? That shoulder wound is not a self-inflicted wound. Who is gonna shoot themselves in the shoulder? Now I know maybe I wish Lily had lied and said, I was cleaning my gun and I forgot to turn the safety off, and boom, popped myself right in the shoulder. That would have been better than seeing you juggle knives. So the doctor is telling her, "Well, you need to tell the police officer what happened with that wound." She doesn't want to tell, and that's my whole. I'm questioning the validity of this, right? I know when it comes down to a domestic violence situation, when the cops do come out, they'll ask all parties what happened. I've watched years of cops, so I know how it works. They'll come out. I've watched cops, and I've actually saw situations where people call the cops, and they'll ask everybody, is everyone okay? And then if it's a man and a woman, they will pull them to the side individually. They'll ask the woman, "Are you okay? Do you need help? Is there anywhere we can take you?" Like they'll do everything they can, man or woman, they'll do everything that they can to help and try to get them out of their situation and get them somewhere safe, right? That is, if the person is willing to help them with the investigation. Most times people say, "Oh, I fell down the flight of," the typical stuff. "I fell, I did this, I did that," right? They can't do anything if you don't tell them anything. And that's why I'm confused with this situation with Lily. Lily has not told this cop anything, so it's the fact that they're treating her as if she's done something against the law and she hasn't. So the officer came back in. He was just running off at the mouth, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so stupid. Because I just don't think that that's what really happened. And then he's telling her he knows who she is. Well, if you know who okay, I'm gonna let this one slide. I'm not gonna sit here and continue to harp on this. I think he knows who she is. Lily basically told him, if you don't leave this alone, he's in danger. Him and whoever he loves is in danger. Get it, got it, good. Alan. We move over to Alan and Jason, right? So Jason is still sitting with this beer, and Jason goes like really weird in this particular moment, right? So Jason was talking about Ellie and the fact that he would love to know how Ellie felt. Well, he would have known how she felt if Alan had hit him upside the head with the guitar. I was like, ew. So then he asked Alan, well, how did she feel? Alan's like, are you a virgin? He says, no. He says, well, then you know how it felt. I was like, oh God, why are we having this conversation? And I still can't get over the fact that Jason watches Hunter when he sex with women. And he says, well, I don't watch my dad. Ugh. You don't. Okay. There are some storylines when it comes to these shows that Tyler writes. Sometimes I wonder where does these ideas come from in his head? How do we go so dark with some of these storylines? Jason in particular, how do we go so dark with his storyline? I just don't understand it. Ugh. So there was a knock on Alan's door, and it was Alonzo. And Alan told Alonzo, like, yo, I'm busy. You know, I'm in here having a good time with Maria. So Jason asked him, who is Maria? He said, it was just a name I came up with. Let's pause here. Move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, we got Kyle. So Kyle is at the boxing ring, right? And he's waiting for Max to show up. And he gets a phone call from the guy that he had watching Sam, right? He told him Sam was looking at this one particular truck, and that he's been looking at, like doorbell cameras in the area. So then he calls Donald, tells Donald about it, and they're wondering who is helping Sam, right? And, at one point, what's his name? Kyle thought that it might have been VP. Donald's like, no, I don't think it's him because he fell for that stuff too easily, so I doubt it's him. So then we see Max and Kyle in the boxing ring, and I don't know what kind of fighting that was, but I know that Kyle got put to sleep by Max. I think it turned him on a little bit, right? And Bobby had to come in and break the situation up, and they ended up leaving. So then we see Victoria and Hunter. They're in the White House bedroom, in their bedroom, right? And per usual, Victoria and Hunter have to go back and forth with one another. She asks him, where is he getting the drugs from? He says he doesn't know what she's talking about. They went back and forth, and then he eventually mentioned her and Eli. I was like, how do you know about her and Eli? Not that I really care, but how do you know about that? Like, okay. I'm trying to, so like I told you guys, the episode to me, it was meh. Nothing, well actually, let me take that back. Nothing like really, really good happened, but something good happened in this episode. And I don't think she played her cards right. But we're going to talk about her in just a minute. So let's pause here and move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, Eli and Simone. Eli and Simone were having sex. And I just don't, that sex just looked boring as Hell. That sex just looked boring to me, to be quite honest with you. Because he was just, I was like, sir, what is that? He wasn't making those noises, that was me. But he was just, it was just kind of weird strokes. I was like, she doesn't watch it. So the phone rings, and it says Hunter. And I'm thinking to myself, now Simone, you can't be that stupid. Why would Hunter call your husband late at night, right? And you just saw how Hunter was with your husband. Y'all went over there to apologize to him. So he went to the bathroom to take the phone call. I'm like, ma'am, are you stupid or are you dumb? And then he turned on the water. Why not get in the shower? Because he was naked. Why didn't he just get in the shower, turn on the shower? I mean, he wasn't very smart. But the person that was calling him was Victoria, right? So Victoria tells him about how Hunter just said something about, them. And he was like, oh, Hunter doesn't know anything about us. And I'm like, are you an idiot too? Her wife is right outside the door. And he's thinking she's not listening. Even Victoria said she's a woman. She's listening. Because Victoria says, I miss you. He says, I feel the same way. So then she's like, she must be there. He said, yeah, she's in the other room. I'm in the bathroom. She said, she's listening to you. He said, no, she's not. She said, yes, she is. I'm a woman. She's definitely listening. And she 100% was listening, right? So then Victoria, but I think Victoria did this for a reason. Because Victoria was like, talk dirty to me. But you telling him that his wife is on the other side of the door listening to the conversation. Why do you want him to talk dirty to you? So then he says, you want me to talk dirty to you? Well, sir, you just gave it up right there that you are not talking to Hunter. Hunter would not, unless Hunter is gay, Hunter don't want you to talk dirty to him. Then he actually says, oh my, I was like, you are so stupid. He actually said Victoria's name. I was like, well, that was stupid. And she heard him say Victoria's name, and then he told Victoria he loves her. I was like, well, ain't that about done? So he goes back out, and she says the mood is done. I'm like, I bet it is, but I'm like, no, that was stupid. Like him and her both stupid. I gotta say, they both dumb. Cause I was like, Simone, you should have played along. Have sex with him, right? Play like you to hear that. Cause he asked her, did she hear the conversation? She says, no. Is there something that I should have heard? Should he need to know about the country? I was like, Simone, you are so stupid. You are so dumb. You should have played along. You really should have played along with that situation because you now know he's sleeping with Victoria. Girl, that answers your question earlier when Bobby was saying that he doesn't, when you talking about he's a Boy Scout, and you want to know what's, girl, you just should have played your cards wrong. You played your cards wrong. Like, you really played your cards wrong. You should have said, okay, baby, let's have sex. But yeah, girl, you played your cards wrong. You really played your cards wrong. Yeah, you should have stroked his ego. You should have made him believe that you didn't hear anything. But now you're gonna raise a suspicion in his head. Very smart. So Donald got home and he realized that Lily wasn't there, so he asked the Secret Service that was there, where's his wife? He said she went to the hospital. He said, what hospital did she go to? He says he doesn't know. So he calls Lily and leaves her a threatening voicemail. I was like, Donald, that doesn't really help. You guys, I don't know what's more annoying when it comes to Lily and Donald. Because you guys know how I felt previously about the situation with Lily and Donald. About, her being in a stretcher and him being shot. Now this situation is even more annoying. Let's pause here and wrap up the episode. Priscilla. We see her and Bobby, right? So Bobby and Priscilla went on their date. Baby, Priscilla don't want no date. Priscilla wants the alcohol, the appetizers, and Bobby's ding-a-ling. And she even asked him, how big is your dick? I was like, oh, Priscilla, nasty. And Bobby, I'm like, so now Bobby's wanting to make sure this is something that she really wants to do. I'm like, Bobby, it's too late now. And when he asked her that question, who sat down at the table with them? Sam sat down at the table with him. I was like, oh my God, here we go. I don't think Priscilla really wants to do this. I don't even think she really wants to sleep with Bobby. I think she's just doing this to just get under Sam's skin. And they left eventually, right? So Sam was still sitting there. Richard called him, and Sam was like, it's not a good time right now. He says, it's about your godson. He says, it's not a good time right now. So we move back over to Alan and to Jason. So Alan wants to go take a shower. Jason was like, I'll come with you. He's like, you are not going to watch me shower. He said, but we need to talk. He says, you cannot talk to me while holding that gun. So he says, I'll put it down. So he goes to put the gun down, and Alonzo is there with his gun on Jason. And that's it. And then we get to Richard. So Richard got home, and Nancy was there in them coat get-ups. I was like, damn, it took one episode. It didn't even take one episode. They just kidnapped Nancy, and they've already converted her over to, what's the name of that cult? Rackaduchis? Whatever it is, I don't care. That's the episode, you guys. If this review wasn't up to par, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just still not feeling this platform right now. I'm still in my feelings about this platform right now, but hey, it is what it is. We're here, we're rocking, we're rolling. Get down in the comment section and subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn your post notifications and share the video, you guys. And until next time, stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.